It's kind of late in the month. We're almost done with September, and I have finally gotten my hands on the September paper pumpkin kit. A little disclosure about this particular kit. I want to give a huge shout out to a friend and fellow member of my Stampin' Up team, Yvonne Newberry. She subscribes to Paper Pumpkin. We spend quite a few weekends uh, trying to craft together, but we always find other things to do. But she happened to have gotten her paper pumpkin kit for September, and she actually had brought it here, I think, like the last time, not this time, but the last time she was here. And I still haven't gotten mine yet. All of my mail, I have it directed to my local post office, and I had it set up because at one point, and this I got to confirm with Stampin' Up, paper pumpkins were mailed out through Mail Innovations. So basically, it would go out by UPS, and then the final delivery would be done by the local post office. Well, now it shows it as Sure Post, so I don't know if that means okay, Mail Innovations went away. But anyway, it was not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before that. My paper pumpkin showed that it was delivered to the post office. Now, since then, I have gone to my post office. I've looked in my mailbox, and there's been no slip in there to say, hey, I got something to pick up. So I still have not gotten my paper pumpkin kit yet. And actually, every time I went to go and try and ask them, there was always a long line, and I just didn't have time for long lines. So, in the meantime, Yvonne has graciously given me her paper pumpkin kit. And then come Monday, I will be reaching out to Stampin' Up after I give one final try at the post office. And if there's nothing there, or they tell me they just can't find it, even though it was delivered to them, I want to reach out to Stampin' Up to see if I can get another kit sent out to me. So then that kit will ultimately go to Yvonne. So thank you so much, Yvonne, for giving me your kit. So then that way I can get this paper pumpkin kit into my video library for the month of September. Excuse me. Now that I got a scratchy throat. So September's kit is called Fall for Toile, and this coordinates with the Autumn Toile suite that is in our current holiday mini catalog. And I actually did that suite in my Friday Night Live just this past Friday, September 26th. So go ahead and after you watch this video, go check that one out where I use that whole suite to create those projects. So you can create more with your paper pumpkin by doing alternative projects to where you can use components that are in the paper pumpkin and use the sweet products that are in the holiday mini catalog and vice versa. So before we open up this box and we create the projects, there's just a couple of things that I want to make you aware of. And usually I kind of just keep it to the paper pumpkin in general, but some things that I just want to make you aware of. This is Stampin' Up's. It's the first time that they're doing this. This is the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. The ordering for this began on September 23rd. Um, with this advent calendar, it's there's a limited amount that they have. You know, they didn't make mention of how many that they have like in each market. However, this is kind of like while supplies last. Now, I had ordered this catalog, and I ordered it like on the first day that it opened up. It was shipped. However, there's some kind of glitch with the tracking number. and they sent an email talking about that glitch. One note that they did make in the email is that in one of the markets they were actually starting to be get to like low inventory. Now, they didn't state which market it was. I can tell you that as of right now, these are still available here in North America. But again, things could end up changing like in a matter of a day or two, or even like in hours. So the thing with this Advent calendar, I wanted to mention it because again, usually I make mention of this on my Friday Night Lives, which I did. But if this is something that sounds like you may like to have this, here in the US, the price is $99, but I can tell you that from what I've seen, I haven't gotten mine yet, but there are a couple of demonstrators that have already done a video where they actually showed you what is behind all 12 of these doors. The packaging, it's got a Christmas theme to it. However, the products that are behind each of these doors, they are not Christmas themed. So it's product that you can create you know year round. So there's not a particular holiday to it. There's not really a particular theme. It's just different products behind each of these doors. And some people are probably may wait until December to start opening them. Some people probably will not wait. They'll probably open them up when they get it. So I did watch like a sneak peek of it, so I do know what's in this calendar. And I can tell you, you wouldn't be disappointed with it because there's a lot of fun things that are part of this Advent calendar. So I want to make mention of that. The item number, and again, this is for the prices for here in the US. The item number is 167335, and the price of it is $99. And again, this is something, the products that are in this advent calendar, they you will never see these in any online exclusive. You won't find them in any paper publication. This is product that is exclusive to this advent calendar. So I want to make mention of that. Also coming up, we're almost near the end of September. Come Wednesday, it is October 1st. Come next Saturday, it's October 4th. And on the first Saturday of every October, it's World Card Making Day. So Stampin' Up! Is going to have a virtual event. I do have in the description, there is a link that'll take you to the Stampin' Up! Website to where you can register. Now, again, it's a free event. It is not just for demonstrators, it's for everybody. Uh, you would want to register, and the reason why you want to register is because that's how you're going to get the link to be able to watch the event. Now, if you can't make it to watch the event, um, you'll be able to go back and you'll be able to watch it. I think it's available immediately after it's done. I believe it's between 2 and 3 p.m. Mountain Time on Saturday the 4th. The registration for this closes on Friday, October 3rd. Now, in addition to registering and having access to the event, you will also, per what Stampin' Up! Was saying, receive a free gift. Now, I don't know 100% of what that may be. I know in the past they did something like this and they had like a $5 coupon that people were able to use to go towards a future Stampin' Up! Order. I don't know for 100% certainty if that's what it is, but they did mention that they would have a free gift for everybody who registers. So if you're going to gather with a group of people, A suggestion would be that everybody registers for it. So then that way they'll have that link so they can watch it whenever they want. And also, whatever that free gift is, they will also get to receive that as well. Now, the projects that they're going to use for World Card Making Day is this card kit right here. What is it called? Oh, yeah, where did I put it? Hold on one second so I know what name that I give you for it. This actually came out in our kits collection. So, nice big box right here. It came out with our kits collection in the month of September. This is called Handmade and Heartfelt Kit. Now I opened up this one, but I'll show you well, it's the same picture actually. And I can't get the box closed now, but this is what it looks like. You have a card keeper piece that you can put on your desk. You can put your cards in there. You can also put like say some of your not embellishment, but your tools, like your take your pick tool or scissors, um, what else, or bone folder, things like that you can put into these little compartments. So this is what they're going to be working on during that event. Now, I try to have an in-person event on World Card Making Day. However, for this year, I'm not going to be able to do something in person. I do have something that I have to take care of, that morning. Um, so what I am going to do, instead of doing an in-person event, I'm going to come on here live on Saturday, October 4th, so World Card Making Day that evening at 6 p.m. And I'm going to put all of this together. So you have all of the pre-cut pieces for your cards, that it does have a stamp set so you can stamp your sentiments, but like all your layers for your actual cards is all part of the kit. So this is still available. Again, you'll find this in the kits collection. Here in the US, this kit does cost $32, but you do have a lot. It's going to make 10 cards, so 5 different cards, 2 of each. And then it has some nice coordinating envelopes with it. And it just looks like it's a really fun kit. So this is what I am going to do on World Card Making Day. We'll make the box and do all the cards as well. So I hope that you'll be able to join me for that. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, may I suggest there's lots of content. After this video is done, I have a total of 291 videos here on my channel. I just on September 23rd hit my 2-year anniversary of doing video content on this channel. I've had this channel for a very long time, since October of 2013, but it wasn't until like 2 years ago that I started doing actual YouTube videos. So if you need some inspiration, you'll find it, take a check out on my channel. I do have different playlists. So I have all my Friday night lives. I have my throwback Thursdays where I use retired product. I have paper pumpkin unboxings and putting together, one of each of the projects. So I've done that, I think, for over a year now. And so, if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe to the channel and also click that notification bell. It'll let you know when I post another video or when I go live. And all of that, it really does help in not only growing this channel, but it also helps me in building my Stampin' Up! Business as well. So this is what's going on World Card Making Day. Again, the last day to register for this is on Friday, October 3rd. And I do have the link that'll take you directly to the website where you can register for this. So now with that, let me talk about Paper Pumpkin and what's coming up and all of that. So now with the that this kit has come out, and from the 11th of September on, they started talking about what the next three kits in Paper Pumpkin are going to be. So for September's, no, we're in September. For October, this is the kit. It's called Cozy Christmas, and in this, it what does it say about this one? Create heartfelt Christmas cards with classic charm and flocked accents. Makes 9 cards, three each of three designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. There's pre-cut paper pieces with soft stitched look flocking, shiny red sequin embellishments. The coordinating colors in this kit are basic beige, cherry cobbler, garden green, real red, and pecan pie, which is also the classic Stampin' Spot that'll be in that kit. Um, then for November, November's opens up on October 11th, and this one's called Wrapped in Cheer. Craft festive goodie boxes perfect for holding gift cards or small treats. Makes 8 projects, 4 each of 2 tag designs and 8 identical coordinating boxes. Foldable box bases and pre-cut paper pieces, linen thread and red dot embellishments. The coordinating colors in this are basic beige, cherry cobbler, old olive, and mossy meadow, which is also the Stampin' Spot in this kit. It says delicate greenery pieces with double-sided printing add a sophisticated touch. So this will be available on October 11th. And then for December's kit, and this registration for this one opens up on November 11th. This is Watercolor in Bloom. Show your love and appreciation with rich watercolor hues and elegant botanical flourishes. Makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes, copper foil and copper sequins, pre-cut paper and vellum pieces. And then the coordinating colors in this are copper, garden green, pretty peacock, secret sea, shaded spruce, and night of navy, which is also the classic Stampin' Spot. So again, this registration for, if you want to receive this kit, you'd want to subscribe. The subscription period for this one would open November 11th. Now, once you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you don't have to subscribe again for the next month. You have 2 choices with Paper Pumpkin. You can do the prepaid, where you can do, I believe it's a 3, 6, 9, and 12 option, where you can prepay for it and then you can start um, the subscription at any point. So the only thing with Paper Pumpkins, that once you're subscribed, if you decide, well, maybe this kit is not one that I'd be interested in, you just would need to make a point that by the 10th of that month, which that'll be the kit for that month, if you want to skip it, that you have the option to skip it. If you want to cancel altogether, you can. And or if you really, really like it and maybe you want to up your quantity from 1 to 2 kits, you can do that as well. Again, for that month, that particular kit, you always want to make that decision by December 10th. So that is the kits that are for the rest of the year. Now, the coordinating set of dies that go with the October, November, and December kit, this is called the Abundant Joy dies. I actually have ordered these dies so I can show you what they look like in person. Um, up and close other than you see in the graphic right there. So the item number for these is 167855, and here in the US they are $12. Now you do have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get these. So you have a nice sized joy word with some stitching in there, a tag, and you got some leaves, and looks like a part like maybe for like a flower or something. So really cute. Now all of these dies, they coordinate with those kits, but you definitely do not need the dies to complete the projects in the kit. These are just additional items if you want to create some alternative projects. So again, these are still available, and you will find them under Paper Pumpkin, and then there's like refills, kits, refills, and add-ons, I believe, and that's where you will find these. Again, item number 167855, and here in the US they are $12, and they are again still available at the time of me doing this video on Sunday, September 28th. So let me put that aside and excuse me, let's open up the box and see what's inside. I have already ahead of time kind of separated my pieces. I'm sorry, I'm getting very scratchy now. This always happens when I start to do videos. You hit record, and then let's see, I think brain cells kind of shrink because you forget words or you forget what you're saying. Um, yeah, it happens, but I just go with the flow. I mean, it is what it is. I don't stress out about it. So here in this kit, you're always going to get a color pamphlet. You're going to see what the projects look like, and they show what the envelopes look like, and you can see that you're making a total of 9 cards in this kit. In the kit, they don't have no like verbal, like instructions here. It's basically following the pictures. You do have for each of the cards, it shows you everything, all the pieces that you're using to put that particular card together. And again, there's instructions, all visual picture instructions on how to lay out the cards. There's also on the side here, there is a ruler. So if there was any twine or ribbon in the kit, you have something that you can measure that with. Really, the only thing that you need for this would be a pair of scissors, a bone folder if you want to use that to burnish your already scored card bases. You get glue dots, you get dimensionals. So really, that's all you need for this. Now, there is one thing that I wanted to grab. Let me go grab that really, really quick. So in the kits, you do get an ink spot in them. And this month it's the it's crazy. This thing is not focusing. It's Cajun Craze. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that aside, and I'm actually going to use my full size Cajun Craze ink pad. Also, on the back, you'll see a picture of all the bits and pieces that go to the kit laid out. Lets you know how many cards and envelopes. So basically your kit components, what the coordinating colors are. So this one is Cajun Craze, Crumb Cake, Darling Duckling, Early Espresso, Pecan Pie, Timid Tiger, and then a metallic, as they have it here, a metallic chocolate bronze. These are the die cuts on these leaves. It's interesting that they call that because in this suite of products that's in the catalog, they do have like a metallic paper, and it's called earthen toned metallic specialty paper, and then it just says it's brown. So it's pretty close to the color of these, but yeah, they just give it a different name. Now, the other thing that they'll show on there, so this being the last kit of that month, so what is it? Um, July, August, and September. The coordinating dies that they had are, oh, they don't have the name of it on here. What is it called? I should know, I should really, really know this. Um, I really should know this. Circle of Season dies. These can't see the number because I got a paper covering it up. That once I should not tell you the wrong thing. Should not tell you the wrong thing. So let me kind of move this so I can see the number. 167277. So again, these dies, they do coordinate with those kits. However, you don't need them to create the project. So July's had like a strawberry theme to it. So you have these dies that you can create a strawberry. But then at the same time, you also got these acorn caps in the same shape, and you can make it into an acorn. Um, and so that, would basically go with this kit. There's a nice stitch circle die in here. You got some fall leaves and a couple of flowers in there, and a really neat script hello in it. So these are still available, again, under Paper Pumpkin in the online store. What is it? Kits, refills, and add-ons. And these are still in there. And these two are $12 here in the US. Okay, so that's everything that's in here. So I have ahead of time have taken like each of the card components. I put it in their envelopes, and you can see the envelopes have this really pretty print on it. One of the one of the designs on the designer series paper in the autumn toile suite, it does have this pattern. However, it's like a vanilla background, and then you got a lot of like early espresso and pecan pie in in the coloring in the paper. So they did that on these the flaps of these envelopes. So you got Timid Tiger, Cajun Craze, and Pecan Pie on there. So really cool envelopes. And again, these are, I should have these in order as to how the cards go. So again, to save some time, I already punched out all of the pieces and everything that go to the cards. Again, in the kit, you got some glue dots, and you do have some mini Stampin' Dimensionals. There's always like a photopolymer stamp set in the kit. So this one, you got a printout of what the images are and what the greetings are. So you have wishing you the happiest of days, thankful, warm wishes, thinking of you. Got some leaves, you got some geese, pumpkins, and acorns. So a really cool set of stamps in this particular kit. And then you have like all the bits and pieces and your layers for your cards. So you got some punch outs for your labels and doing stamping your greetings on them. And then here is that foil element on these leaves. And then again, you have some of these punch outs, and there's a little bit of pecan pie ribbon in here, and then just some panels, for one of the card designs, and then you got the envelopes and then the card bases. So let me kind of put this stuff in here and set this aside, and we'll open up our instructions here. So for card number one, we have our acorn stamp on this one. Now for this one, we're not stamping a greeting because one of the punch outs that are in the kit, we're using that. It says thankful. I think I got the right card. Yeah, I got the right card. It says thankful. So, yeah, we're not stamping a greeting on this one. So let me just make sure that my Stampin' Scrub is got some of my Stampin' Mist in there. Now with the Stampin' Mist, it's not only a stamp cleaner, but it's also a conditioner for your stamps as well. This one, I at one time I just had water in here, but with Stampin' Mist, what you can do to make it last longer, if you get down to like a half a bottle, add some water to it, and it'll extend your Stampin' Mist for a little bit longer. It'll still do what it's supposed to do, but yeah, this. Just it brings back memories for me from when I first started. And nice, look at this, a nice new acrylic block. I took advantage of the sale that they had I think it was a couple of weeks ago, where they had 15% off on stamp sets and stamp tools. And the acrylic blocks were one of those things. Now, the first time that you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you are going to get a block, but the block is different than our acrylic blocks. You're going to get one of these. It's a little bit thinner, and it's got like more of a sharper edge on it, where these are more ergonomic, and they're rounded. I get that out of the way, and they're kind of rounded. So I'm going to use these blocks, but again, when you're a first time subscriber, you'll get one of these blocks in there. And then going forward, the other kits that you get, they won't have the block. It's just the one time that they put that block in there. So really, like I said, when it comes to doing these paper pumpkin kits, having, a pair of, like scissors. This is the Stampin' Up! Snips now. They discontinued these because I think their manufacturer stopped making them. These have been around like forever. But I'm sure Stampin' Up! Is working out on something on getting scissors back in stock again. So a pair of scissors, a bone folder if you want to basically burnish, your card bases so they lay flat. And also, a take your pick tool is really great for picking up maybe if you have any embellishments, or even using for the glue dots. This is a great tool for that. And yeah, that's really all that you need. If you had ribbon that you needed to cut or twine, you have the ruler right here on your instructions. So that's basically all that you need to do these. And it's nice because if you are someone that wants to get into doing card making, and you don't have like all these supplies and tools and everything, that's what's great about not only the paper pumpkin, but also the kits that you find in the kits collection. They tend to have everything you need other than like those simple little tools right there, to create the projects in them. So for starting out, those are great. These kits and the kits collection, they're also great, if you're a seasoned crafter and maybe you want something, maybe you're going on a road trip, or maybe you're going someplace where, you'd want to kill a little time. Well, something like this would be great because then you can just bring the whole kit and you got something to work on, and it's pretty cool. So again, Paper Pumpkin, the kits that we have in the kids collection, they're perfect, for if you want to take crafting on the go. Okay, so another thing that I'm also going to use, so all the stamps that you get in your Paper Pumpkin kit, they're always going to be like this little sheet of photopolymer stamps. So photopolymers, they do not have like that foam cushioning like our red rubber stamps have. So because of that, if you want to get a really good crisp stamped image, we do have these foam piercing mats. They're great because they give a little bit of that cushion that these don't have, and so that way you get a better stamped image. Another thing too with these stamps, because in the process of making these, there is kind of like a little bit of a film that's on the stamp. So what you want to do is you want to use something like your Stampin' Scrub to clean, or even your chamois, one of the two, to clean your stamps first before you use them for the first time. So then that way you can get a nice stamped image. So this little circle die cut right here, they have stamped these acorns on there. So I got my Cajun Craze ink, and I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to stamp this right in the middle there. So this is the only thing being stamped. So I did add a little more ink to my Cajun Craze ink pad. So that's stamped really, really well. Now I'll close this up. And then what I'll do is I'll also clean off this stamp, since we're not going to be doing any more stamping. Now some colors, I will tell you, and Cajun Craze is kind of like one of them, that certain like reds, purples, pinks, this is more like an orangey type brown color. Some colors are going to stain your photopolymers, and they're not going to come completely clean. But as long as you have cleaned them, they will still stamp very well. And yeah, you won't get a transfer of that other color if you cleaned them really well. All right, so we have our card base. So this piece right here, so when you look at these instructions, so you will see like these white hexagons. They show you exactly where to place them on the back of this. Now, the white hexagons, those are going to be your Stampin' Dimensionals. And then where you see these little dark gray circles, those are going to be your glue dots. So again, it shows you exactly where to place, your adhesive on your pieces. So the other thing that I find too when it comes to the dimensionals, especially the smaller ones, I find that using my Take Your Pick tool makes it easier for me to pick them up. So this is, um, what is this one? This is, there's different tips. So these are the additional tips that you can get for this. And this has a finer piercing tool on it. And then this one has like a knife blade in it. So this is also available in our catalog. But what I like to do is actually pick up my dimensionals using this. So they have, and what I'm going to do is this, even though I'm not stamping this, I'm going to place this down right here. So then that way I can see this a little bit easier since my grid paper is white. So they're showing 3 across the top here. One in the middle, just so that way it's not sagging. And then we have one in the middle here. So this week there's going to be a lot of video content. So got my paper pumpkin that I'm doing tonight. Actually, it's tonight that I'm doing this. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be October 1st. And on the 1st of each month, I do a monthly Christmas card inspiration video. So I do this throughout the year. And what this is for people who like to do their Christmas cards throughout the year instead of rather waiting. I create 2 fairly simple duplicatable cards to give you a little bit of inspiration if you want to do that. I already have it figured out what I am going to be using. I believe the name of the stamp set is called Stay Warm. It's a reversibles stamp set, and it's actually, I believe it's in our holiday mini catalog. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to use for my monthly Christmas card inspiration video. Now, Thursday, it's going to be a throwback Thursday using retired product. And then on Friday night, it's going to be my Friday night live using current product. Unfortunately, I don't know what I'm using quite yet. I haven't gotten to the point of deciding what product. I have plenty of product to choose from, but I just have to figure out what that's going to be. So chances are, after I am done doing this video, that's going to be another thing that I am going to work on, is the video that I would need to have done for the first, and then what I'm doing for Thursday, and then figure out what I'm doing for Friday. So hopefully I can get I can get the ideas, fairly quickly, and be all ready for when that day comes. And those other pre-records, have them done, and then have them scheduled to post at 5 a.m. on that particular day. So let me just make sure that I got all the little things, because they show you where to place them on the piece. All right, so that is that. And then the little round piece that we just stamped, where'd that piece go that we stamped our, okay, where'd it go? Little acorns that I just stamped, where'd they go? I'm not seeing them. Well, that's not good. Where'd it go? Well, that's not good, guys. Where'd it go? It couldn't have gone far, but I'm not seeing it. All right, hold on, let me see, did it fall? Oh, I hate when things like this happen. It's not in there, it's not in there. Wow, okay, let me do this then. Let me come in and pull out another little thing and stamp that again. Honestly, guys, I don't know where it went. I am not seeing it on this table. This table isn't very big. So let me stamp that again. I really, truly don't know where it went. All right. Let's stamp it again. When I find it, it'll go to one of the other cards. Okay, there's that. See, it's things like this that, I've gotten to the point, my videos, they'll never be perfect. There's always going to be something that happens. Either you lose something, which seems kind of crazy, or you forget words, you forget the name, the names of things, you get a scratchy voice, things like that, they tend to happen. So I've always just learned, don't stress out over it, just go with the flow. And, hey, it makes for a good blooper video, right? Okay, so I have my stamped image here. And so on this, they got one side is going to have glue dots. Okay, so hold on. The thankful. Okay, the thankful is going to get dimensionals, so this one's going to be popped up. So they show 2 dimensionals on here. Okay, we'll set that aside. So the thankful is going to go like this, and then our greeting is going to kind of overlap that a little bit. And it's also going to overlap on top of the what do you call it? The frame. So this is going to sit like this. So we're going to flip it over. And then they show that on this side, we're going to have 2 glue dots. And actually what we can do with this too, I'll show you what we can do. We can put our frame and our thankful down first. And then when we go to put that on, we'll know exactly where to put our glue dots and our dimensionals. Okay, so I'm going to take the paper backings off of this. Yeah, so I have to plan out. I know that as we get further into October, probably about mid-October, I would think, um, and towards the end, we do have, let's see, we have a suite, and I think, do we just have one bundle? Or do we have 2 bundles? No, maybe just one bundle and one suite that is Halloween themed. And so that I know I'm going to be using in October. Then as far as fall goes, I've basically used the, now we're going to place this down. We're going to center this on our card base. Kind of put that there. And center this like so. Okay, just press that down. And then our thankful. Yeah, so I have to think about what it is that I'm going to use. I know last year, I think it was last year or the year before, almost the whole entire month of October, I did nothing but like Halloween stuff. And the thing is, I tell you what, I kind of got burned out on using basic black, gorgeous grape, pumpkin pie, and I think it was like granny apple green. So it was, yeah, it was a lot. All right, so I'm going to take this thankful and I'm going to stick this right here. So it's a little bit underneath that leaf. So make sure that's kind of straight. So press that down. And again, now we're going to place this here. So what I'm going to do is, instead of putting my adhesive on this piece itself, I am going to take this, kind of slide it over, and I am going to take 2 dimensionals, and I'm going to add them kind of like right here, kind of props it up, and then 2 glue dots are going to go right here on the frame, like so. Now by putting it on here, I know exactly where it needs to go, whereas if I put it on here, then what happens, do I have it lined up where the glue dots are going to attach to the frame. And then of course, if you go too far with these on the die cut, then it's like, is it going to overlap that greeting? So then we're going to take this and we're going to just stick that right on top like so. And then there's our first card. So there's no ribbon or any embellishments, for this card. So it's a very simple fall card. And what's nice, this can also, this would make a great masculine card as well. Okay, so there is our first card. And yeah, I wouldn't have gone back in the envelope. Nope. And then here's the envelope that matches it. So we'll set that aside. And then our second card, that's really going to bug me until I find that stamp piece that I did. It couldn't have gone far. Could not have gone far at all. So I don't know. That's just very, very weird. Very, very weird. Okay, so for our second card, we want, for our stamps, we want wishing you the happiest of days. So we want our nice big greeting. And then we have these leaves. So I'm thinking, are they using, which leaves are they using? They're using, well, I guess it doesn't really matter what leaves you end up using. But looks like this one and this one. Okay. And again, I'm going to bring in my other blocks here. And we'll stick a leaf on here. And our other leaf. And then our greeting. Put that on there. And we will clean, excuse me, our stamps. Okay. Okay, so now let's make sure those are dry. Let me bring in our card pieces. Okay. All right. So for this one, we've got lots of little pieces in here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be stamping our little leaf images on our card base. And then we have this larger die cut circle right here that we're going to do our greeting on. So let me get my Cajun Craze ink. Ink this up and stamp it right in the middle here. That's what's nice about photopolymer stamps. You can see exactly where you're stamping your images or your greetings. A few weeks, maybe, or maybe it's been like a month. Stampin' Up! Did make an announcement that they were going to start phasing out on the red rubber cling stamps, and then they're going to solely have just the photopolymers. They made the decision because materials for doing the red rubber stamps, they didn't say exactly what materials, but they were starting to become hard to get. So they decided that starting with, so our current annual catalog and our holiday mini catalog, and also the online exclusives that just came out this month are going to be, and this, I see this is kind of like kind of bouncing in and out. So I may have to bring this up just a little bit for it to stop. Okay, that's better. So with our annual catalog, our holiday mini, the online exclusives that just came out in September is going to be the last time they're going to be having the red rubber cling stamps. In November, when we have some more new online exclusive items come out, then they're going to, I'm going to put these on one block. At that point, what they're going to do is everything, all the stamp sets that they do are going to be photopolymer. So just want to put that out. if you're a fan of the red rubber, I know there's some people that aren't too happy about that. But if you like the red rubber, now's like your opportunity to kind of get your hands on it while we still have it. All right, so they show that they have both of the leaves put on the acrylic block at the same time. So we're going to do that. So now what they've done, they have randomly stamped the leaves on the card base. And it looks like the very, very middle, you don't have to worry about doing the very middle because the very middle is going to be covered up. So I'm just going to randomly stamp these, and I'm going to just turn my block. Let me see. Let me get some scratch paper here just to kind of stick under here. So then that way it stamps off the edge. Then we don't get it on our piercing mat. Some people don't like Cajun Craze. I actually do like it. I think it's a really nice color for doing your fall projects. And what's nice about the little ink spots, every paper pumpkin kit is either they're always going to have at least one ink spot in there. So it's very rare, but sometimes they actually have two different colors in the kits. And what's nice, they don't repeat the colors in a 12-month span. So the whole year, they don't duplicate any of the ink colors. And what's nice is though these little ink spots are great if you are taking your crafting, outside of your craft room, while you're on the go, you go into a friend's to craft and all that. They're great for things like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna, because I don't know exactly what's gonna be open. So I'm just gonna stamp. I know it looks like I'm just stamping the whole thing. But by the time I go and lay down those other pieces, I want to make sure that I have my card base kind of covered here. So I think I'm going to come up here, get a little bit there, and get a little bit there. And I see I got ink on the edge, so I don't want to rock this block at all. And then I'll add a little bit of one right there. So there is our card base. So we kind of like done, well, kind of like our own designer series paper, but it's actually our card base. So I'll close this up, and let me get my Stampin' Scrub and clean those really, really quick. Okay, so you can see they're clean, but they, some colors are going to stain them. But again, as long as you cleaned them, that color's not going to transfer when you go to use another color. Okay, so let me put that aside, and we'll set that aside. And then we're going to bring in all of our pieces. So on these leaves here, do this way, they have some dimensionals. So they got two on here. And usually with these kits too, when it comes to dimensionals and glue dots, there's always extras. So yeah, after, when you subscribe and after getting a few kits, you actually have some leftovers to do other crafting as well. All right, so we have those leaves taken care of. And then these leaves, are these identical? Mm, they are, but so I think they got, let me see here. How do they got this? Because you don't want to put dimensionals down and have it overlap, because one of them, I guess does it really matter? I guess it really doesn't matter. So this one's going to have more of the dimensionals on them. So put one there, here, in the middle, and then one over here. Okay, and then the other one just has those three kind of like across the bottom here. Okay, then let's see, what do they have here? Okay, so on the ribbon, got the ribbon like this, get our blue dots. We actually have like two in the middle here. Okay, take the paper backings off. Okay, and then let's see, our ribbon. How's our ribbon going? Kind of folding it over like this. Okay, and then we have, getting a little warm in here. Where's, right in front of me. And then they show, let's see, go this way, this way, this way. I guess it really doesn't matter. I'll put a couple on here because I guess this is the part that's gonna stick to the back of our greeting piece. So we want to make sure it's going to stay in place. Okay. Lots of glue dots on this. Okay. And we'll set that aside. We'll get our greeting piece and we have it faced up like that. And let's see, we're going to take this and we're going to stick this right in the middle here, like so. And then we'll start putting some blue dots. They got 2, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so guys, hold on one second. I am going to turn this fan on because I am getting a little warm here. All right, so now let's, okay, it's not straight down, it's more at an angle. Okay, that's not what it looked like, but okay, let's just kind of take our ribbon and just kind of shift it a little bit. Okay. All right, so now let's do our assembling here. Okay, so we got our card base, and let's see, what do we got? How do they have these laying on here? So it looks like that one's that way, and this one kind of goes this way. Okay, so then this one looks like it's going to go like right over here. Kind of get it in the middle. Okay, and before I press that down completely, I'm just going to place these down so that way I make sure that I got them exactly where I want them. And then this, I got paper on my, it looks like, which way is this going? Looks like it goes right there. So again, this is laying flat onto this, and it's popped up over on this, so that way it lays nice and flat. And then for our leaves, I'm gonna put these, let's see, we got, okay, it's kind of interesting, they popped up there and there too, so I don't get that. So we're gonna go with it. There. And then this one right there. And then let's take our little paper backings off of our glue dots here. Okay, and then this is going right here in the middle, like so. So just press that down. It kind of sits on top of everything, and there we go. There is the second card. So you got a little bit of your foil there. So that brown foil, that's what that earthen tone specialty metallic specialty paper is. That's part of that autumn toile suite. So there's that card, and then here's the timid tiger designed envelope flap. So there is the second card. Now let's see what we need for our last card. So for our last card, we have, and this too is one of the patterns in the paper that's part of that suite. And so we got our card base here. And let me use my bone folder on that. I don't think I did it on this one, did I? Okay, so we have that piece. We have our panel for it. And then we have our label that's going to have our greeting on it. And then we have a die cut of these three really cute watercolor looked pumpkins. And then we have our fox. There's actually a whole sheet on two sheets of a pattern that's like all like Cajun craze, and you have images of foxes on it. Okay, so now for this one, we need the stamp that has the geese on it and the one that says thinking of you. So thinking of you. And then the little geese. Okay. Take that off. All right. So let's see. Let's get our blocks. And then our geese. Let's see. Make sure that I got these going in the right direction. I think that's the right direction. Yeah, looks like that's the right direction. Okay, so let me get my Pierce mat. And we got our label. And where's my ink? And let's do thinking of you. Now the refills for this particular kit are available in the online store under Paper Pumpkin. Now to get the refills, when you get the refills, all you're going to get are like the paper and the ribbon and the embellishments. That what you won't get is another stamp set in the refill kit. All right, so there's our greeting. And then on this background piece, they show that they got the geese like flying up in this corner right here. So we'll ink this up. And did I clean these stamps? I don't even know if I cleaned them or not. Because they're inking up a little funny. All right, so the stamping's done. Let me quickly clean these. It's one of those things where when you're card making that, you know, you stamp and you still got ink on those stamps and then, or on the blocks, and then piece of your card or whatever ends up on them and then you get ink all over them. So that's why I like to clean them right away. So there are our stamped images there. And so let's bring in our pieces. So on our background panel here, we have lots of dimensionals on this one. So we have one in each corner. I'm just all over grabbing these things. Okay, and then we have okay, so we have that. So let's go ahead and put this down. Okay, and then we'll take this and we will center that. I'm still in the frame, right? Just want to make sure I don't go out of the frame there. Okay, and then we'll center that right there. And then we're going to take our thinking of you, and that's actually going to get popped up on there as well. So we're going to add got like 4 of them on here. Okay, so our greeting is going to go right up here. Make sure that I got it straight. Okay. And then, let's see, we got our pumpkins. We're going to pop those up. And our pumpkins are going to go right down here. Very cute. I like this image. And then for our fox, let's see, we got one right over here. And down here. And right there. Okay, and then the fox will go right over here. I'll bring them down a little bit. Right down there. Okay, so there is the third card. Really, really cool. And then there's the coordinating envelope for this one. So there is the third card. And the second one that we did some stamping on our card base to add, you know, some design there, and we just layered on our leaves and put our greeting on top, and it has that really cool pecan pie colored ribbon on it. And then our first card, kind of simple with the pecan pie colored card base, and then that pop of that Cajun craze on there. So really, really cute cards in the September paper pumpkin kit. This one's called Fall for Toile. Now the registration period, or the subscription period, excuse me, for this particular kit, it is over. So you can't get the full kit anymore. The refill is available. Again, in the refill, you're going to get all of the paper and the ribbon and the adhesive components to it. The only things you're not going to get in it, you're not going to get the stamp set, and you're not going to get the ink spot. Um, that's the only thing difference, like with the refills. Now, that, like I said, I saw the refills are already out there. Sometimes they actually have a whole full kit that they'll make available, but I do not see that out there. So right now it's just the refills. And again, to get the refills, you do need to be a paper pumpkin subscriber. The same thing, you know, with those coordinating add-on dies too, that you do need to be a subscriber for that. Links, you know, to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, they are in the description of the video. I will also add the link to take you to the Stampin' Up! Website if you want to register for World Card Making Day. Again, the registration is going to close, I think it's like 3 p.m. Mountain Time on that Friday before, so this coming Friday. Again, when you register, you're going to get that registration link to where you can watch it virtually, and then you can watch it again later on at any time. And also, they got a free gift for everyone that registers. And again, it's a free event for World Card Making Day. It's Saturday, October 4th, and it'll go from 2 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time. So whatever your time zone is to Mountain Time, you know, just kind of figure that out. I will be coming on here on this channel live at 6 p.m. and I will be putting that whole kit together, the holder and all of the cards as well. So hope that you can join me for that. Again, if you like the projects that I have made from this month's kit, please give the video a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, again, I have a lot of video content out there. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. It'll let you know when I got pre-recorded content that I have posted, and also when I go live. Again, this week there's going to be a lot of video content. I have this come the 1st. I'm going to have my monthly Christmas card inspiration video where I'm going to use the new reversibles stamp set that is in our holiday mini catalog. And then on Thursday, I'll do a throwback Thursday, and then Friday, I'll do my Friday Night Live. And then there's that bonus video that I'll do on Saturday. Well, yeah, the live that I'll do on Saturday as well. Um, Also, on my Friday Night Lives, all of those, I do have a PDF that I have done for all of those Friday videos, and those are free. If you look in the description on those, it's that last little bullet point that's right above the list of supplies. When you click on that, that's going to take you to my Google spreadsheet, to my Google Drive, and all of them are there. And again, these all go back to January 26th of 2024. So there's, I believe, like over 80, I think, out there right now. So when you click on, you can download it. There's also a link where it'll say Friday Night Live and it'll have the date. If you click on that, that's actually going to take you to that actual Friday Night Live that I did. So if you like the projects and you want to recreate them, the PDFs have pictures, and it also has all the dimensions of the paper in there, and you can follow along with the video. And so that's out there as well on the Friday. So lots of video stuff coming up this week. Hope that you will check it out, and kind of hoping that you will join us also for my Friday Night Live, which on my Friday Night Lives, those 3 cards that I make, at the very end I do a card giveaway. Cards I can mail anywhere in the world. It's just Stampin' Up! Product that I cannot send outside of the US. So for an opportunity, that's what I do on my Friday Night Lives, and we have a nice bunch of people that join us, and we have a lot of fun on those. And again, with that, I think I have mentioned everything. Again, the Advent calendar, when I talked about that, if that's something that interests you, I would suggest, getting it sooner rather than later, because again, there was only a limited quantity that they had on those. And once they sell out, they sell out. They're not going to have them come back. There's not going to be any more coming in. So with that, everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I will see you in the next one. Everyone, have a blessed one. Bye bye.